Knowing everything about Bachelor and Love is Blind, if you had to choose now, which one would you do?
I 100,000% always do The Bachelor over
What?
Love is Blind. You guys are crazy enough to get engaged to somebody you've seen for 5 seconds. That makes no sense.
No, we're saying for 0 seconds before we get
0
engaged.
seconds,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you just walk up to them, and then you have to get down on a knee.
Hey,
Like
but the
that-
odds are better because you're getting one girl, like 30 guys.
That's
There's
true.
15 and 15 for Love is Blind.
Okay.
So. What is going on, Talker Squad? We are back with another episode. This is my first time officially co-hosting with my boy Elvis, and we have one of my good buddies, another reality TV bro, officially my first guest. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Ivan Hall.
I'm super excited to be here, brother. I am very excited for you that you got to take over this podcast. Very excited to meet you, Elvis, as well.
Likewise, of course.
This is a dope studio setup, and I'm ready to enjoy this conversation.
Let's do it, man. Well, first and foremost, I want to introduce this new segment that I'm calling Drink of Choice. So I texted Ivan last week asking him, what's your drink of choice, man, if you're going to do something? And he's like, Chardonnay. I'm like, what the fuck you want to do Chardonnay? This ain't no first date, bro. This is a podcast, man. I thought you would say vodka tonic or Red Bull vodka. So here we got some Chardonnay to break the ice. Cheers, boys.
Yeah,
Cheers, gentlemen. There's a backstory for the Chardonnay.
Oh,
There is a
we'll get to that.
backstory.
I can't wait to hear it.
Lover boy.
So, certified. But no, so backstory of the Chardonnay. Man, I swear I never drank Chardonnay in my life until probably like 2020. But when we were on The Bachelor, they limit us on how many drinks we can have per hour. So you get maybe 2 shots per hour or whatever, but they're like half shots. So the only thing they would give us a full pour of was Chardonnay. It was the only thing. So every single day we would just ask for Chardonnay, hang with the boys all day.
Okay.
And that's when it's just so like whenever I link up with them, we just randomly like reminisce and drink some Chardonnay, and just get lit off of it. And it's always like a good, like chill, fun, just vibe with the Chardonnay. So
I think this is my first time actually having Chardonnay.
Yes.
I'm not a white wine person. I do
get
red
it.
wine, but it's not bad. No, but that's interesting. They limit y'all's alcohol because on Love is Blind, nothing was limited. Actually, it was encouraged.
no, yeah, they would give it to us for sure because like I mean it definitely helped me like relax, but yeah, there was definitely a limit though, and it was very unfortunate because like when I was on Bachelor in Paradise too, all the dudes are like 6'2", 6'5", 200 something pounds, whatever. And then you got the girls that have the same drink limit as us, and they're over here 5'1", 100 pounds. You're like, this doesn't even make sense. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, Ivan was on season 16 of Bachelorette and season 7 of Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we're both on the reality TV realm. So after doing Bachelorette and Paradise, which one did you like better?
Oh, they were so different. But I'll say Paradise was more fun.
Yeah.
Paradise is definitely more fun because you go in there like knowing a lot of the guys and you're already friends with them.
Yeah.
So you're not going into a blind. Bachelorette, I did way better on, I'll say. But Paradise was definitely more fun. You're on a beach all day, just eating food and hanging out with some of your best friends. Plus, just get a hit on girls all day.
Yeah. See,
so
that's
that was
why I thought about Perfect Match.
Yeah,
They called me that, hey, man, we had this new dating show. It's like spring break for adults. I was like, sign me up, man.
Yeah.
So I feel like Bachelor in Paradise would be
That's
more
what-
my style, too.
Agreed. That's why I'm like, I can't really understand why people complain so much about these shows sometimes. Just because I'm like, this is a good setup.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like, all things considered, it's a
Hanging
good
out,
setup.
you're not working,
Yeah.
just drinking, flavored girls, man.
Yeah.
You're having a good time.
Yeah, I also actually in 2022 got to do the Bachelor Live on Stage tour too. So that was kind of fun. That was like a very different experience where we like hopped around to different cities. It was like a Bachelor experience.
I was gonna ask, when you do like The Bachelor, or when you did the dating show Love is Blind, right? Do you have to mentally prepare yourself to like you're ready to get married, or can you still enjoy it and have fun, right? Because it's like, for example, Love is Blind, you're ready to pretty much propose at the end of it, and you're ready to start your life with this person. And even with The Bachelor, right? It's not kind of all just party and fun. It gets serious real quick. When you guys are doing those shows, are you mentally ready to take that next step, or like how do you mentally prepare that, like, okay, this might be the love of my life for the rest of my life?
Yeah, I mean, for Love is Blind with me, I wanted to like have fun and go for the story. And then I fell in love while doing it, which I did not think was going to happen. And so that's kind of when it hit me. It was like, oh, fuck, like I'm going to be here longer than just 2 weeks. Like this ain't going to be the pods, date 15 girls in a day and go home. Like, I love this girl and propose to her and then see what happens. So like the mental preparedness like happened as I fell in love, not really beforehand.
Makes sense.
I get it. Yeah, for me, when I went on The Bachelorette, the Bachelorette I was 28 years old. She was 38 years old, actually. So there's like a big age gap there. And I'm like, I don't know, very statistical. So I was like, the percent chance that we actually end up together is probably not that high.
Yeah.
But it was the first time ever that like she just ran off with one of our, fell in love very quickly, one of the other guys on my show. So they brought in another Bachelorette, this girl named Tasha, who was 30. She was like a mixed black girl, very much like my type. And when she came in, I was like, oh boy, I might, it's about to get serious. So like my whole mindset kind of changed a little bit more. And I was just like every week, like trying to figure out ways to like get to know her better and progress our relationship, because I was like, if I'm going to get engaged to her, like I need to know some things quickly. You have to advance it and be very intentional with it, but also try to mix in the fun though. So like, yeah, especially when Tasha came in, it's got like way serious. And I was like, damn, yeah, I might come home with a big surprise for the parents. Like,
are you guys able to have like comfort in these dates? Like, for example, at one of my restaurants, Oprah Winfrey Network, right? They're doing like a dating show as well, and they shot one of the scenes there. So I kind of got to see some of the behind the scenes, and it was like the guys arriving for the date and the girls arriving for the date. But that was the first time that I got to see that like they made the girl walk in 3 different times until they got the perfect shot. Like she sat down, got back up, did it again, and I'm like, this is kind of taking the comfort of her actually enjoying this date, right? So I guess from your experience, did you get to fully enjoy the significant other, the dates and everything, or was there any pressure with the cameras around you as you couldn't be as comfortable as you wanted to?
Yeah, no, there was definitely a ton of pressure, man. Like having darn near 100 people just watching you, producers and cameras, like that threw me off, especially in the beginning. But like having that like kind of warm up experience with the first Bachelorette, honestly, that made me like way more comfortable when Tasha came around. And I was kind of lucky, really. Like all of my dates, we were in a bubble. It was during COVID, so like they were very chill dates. Like we got to just hang out in her hotel suite as my first date and played like games. And it was just like not too many producers there. It was just us hanging out, gave us a bottle, and we just had the time of our lives. Honestly, we were able to get very comfortable with that. But yeah, sometimes you have to like reshoot some things, or they'll like set up situations for you to go, have a conversation about, whatever else. But no, I was able to get pretty comfortable with it in general pretty quickly, which was the one thing I was worried about going into. I was like, how am I going to be on camera? That's like, I had no clue how I was going to be on camera. I didn't come from that world at all. So yeah.
Did y'all all stay in the same hotel when y'all weren't?
Yeah.
In Paradise? And I'm sure like y'all snuck out and like.
Oh my God, that was the. I've got some crazy stories about things that happened off camera. It was actually in Bachelor in Paradise. So that was 2021. The biggest scandal of the season, darn near, was me sneaking out of my room, which I was not supposed to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there was like, it was near the end of the season. One of the girls I named since the beginning that I wanted to come out there I found out that she was staying at the hotel and they never brought her down. So I was like a little bit pissed off. I was like, oh, I'm about to leave here anyways because I didn't have any connections. And I figured out where she was staying at, which room.
Wait, same hotel or different hotel?
Same hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, but just like in a whole different wing from where we were. And then middle of the night, set up a little game plan. Me and my buddy Noah, who was on the show with me, left the door barely cracked, put on a whole face mask and hat, snuck over this girl's room, knocked on the door. She opened. She's like, who are you? And then she knew who I was, but then I took off my shit. Honestly, that was like my best date of the entire Bachelor in Paradise season.
Yeah.
I talked to probably like 5-6 different girls that season. So, and that was the main one I wanted to meet. Got through that whole night. Didn't think anybody knew anything about it. Next day got busted by the producers on camera. And they're like, you made a serious whatever infraction. You broke the rules or whatever, like on camera. And I'm like, so at that point I was just being very apologetic, but I was just following my heart, which is actually what I was trying to do. Like, unlike, like I legit was like, I legit did not do that for the cameras. I didn't think they were going to find out.
Yeah.
So
no, dude, we all got in trouble down in Panama too.
Oh,
it's like all like a few, well, not all of us, but most of us snuck out. And, so we get like gym time and pool time for like 30 minutes a day individually, like isolated, where like a handler, what they're called, like somebody that's like in charge of your room keys. They'll take you they'll come pick you up from your room. They'll walk you to the gym. They'll like hang out with you until you're done your workout. And then you come back to your room. They let you in your room. But like while we're at the gym, we also hang out at the pool a little bit. Well, there were some girls like hanging out at the pool that would like recognize us and be like, okay, like DMing us later, like, oh, come hang out. But we're always saying, I'm gonna hang out with you. But then they hit us up saying, hey, they're putting tape on y'all's doors because y'all are sneaking out. Yeah. We can come and put the tape back on if you want us to. So now I'm responding like, oh, boss, I'm hitting my boy Chase and Zay up.
Yeah, like
my boy Chase and Zay, and we find out. So we're not staying at the guys are in one hotel and the girls in another hotel. So I'm like, bro, Chase, like Zay, let's like get on a FaceTime right now because these girls are gonna put our tape back on for us, man. Let's sneak out. We know where the girls are staying. We take some taxi cabs over there, bro. And this is like in the middle of filming. We're not in the house, you know, because like it's rotation style. So we weren't dating in the house at the time. And we go hang out with like 7 or 8 of the girls that also weren't filming and like party till like 5 in the morning.
That's the real TV show right there.
I mean, that was way better than anything that ever happened.
So y'all had cell phones and stuff though? Access to actual?
We would have them for like limited times per day.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
So
did you get busted that night, or
we got busted every night?
So what happened with the tape? I guess why didn't the tape trick work?
No, we got busted because like people would just like see us. The girls were staying where production was staying.
Okay.
So when they see like 3 freaking tall ass black guys walking in, they're like, "You guys aren't Panamanian, like they're with the TV show." So yeah, they tell it's like word gets around. Yeah. But it's crazy, man. No, but earlier you mentioned a surprise for mom and dad, but you do have a surprise for mom and dad. You recently got engaged.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, man.
Wow. I appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, I have a beautiful fiance for 2 months now. She's great. She's super smart. Met her in college originally. She went to UT Austin. I went to Texas Tech, but that's when we originally met, dated for a few years, kind of went separate ways. Then she's a doctor, so she got her job as an anesthesiologist here in Dallas, and that's when we reconnected. And I always kind of thought that like we would end up together at the end of the things, and that's kind of just what happened. So, yeah.
You manifested that, didn't you?
No, I really did, yeah. She's actually, surprisingly enough, the only girlfriend I've ever had in my life. I've never actually made like somebody my official girlfriend.
Just been playing all these years, huh?
Nah, just you gotta meet a certain standard. And well, granted, I almost legit got engaged, I guess, on the show, but I don't really count that as I know that's a little different thing. But
you don't count that. You don't count a TV engagement.
No, you can count a TV engagement, but I don't. Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even count her as like a girlfriend though, just because it's like she was dating 2 other guys at the same time. Yeah. So but yeah, no. So super happy. It just happened. No, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, definitely.
I see you do a lot of commercials as well. Like you do a lot of collabs on your Instagram, and so it seems like a lot of paid advertisement that's coming your way, right? How have you been able to kind of get the business side of things moving? Did all that start after the shows, or I guess how was life before and after the shows? If you could elaborate a little bit on that. I got you.
Yeah. So before the show, I mean, I work as an engineer full time at Lockheed Martin. I had like 700 followers on my Instagram. I didn't know anything about social media, man. Like I got on the show because I got a DM from the Bachelorette producers, and that's just the rest is history. But I made it very far in the show. I made it like 3rd on my season. I came off the show. They're like, your whole life's going to change. I didn't really know what that meant exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Never really watched the show too much. And then I was like, oh shit, got my first like brand deal contract. I was like, $20K. Mm-hmm. What? Like I didn't know people get paid for like paid advertisements.
And it was $20K, you said, the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty big, right?
Time, man.
No, yeah. I mean, I've said this on before too, but like, you know, I work as an engineer, have a good job, but I make a good amount more actually off my Instagram than I do my engineering job, which throws a lot of people off, including myself off. Mm-hmm. But I've been able to do a good job of monetizing it with my managers and just being able to have a little bit of business sense with the things, and putting myself in front of a lot of brands and providing decent content whenever I actually get the brand deals. So, it's very exciting.
All your content is great. Like I've peeped your Instagram and everything, and it's like you actually put in the work to make a good reel or a good ad out there. So you put in the work.
Yeah, specifically that Mizzen Man one, man. Like that's the one right there. Yeah, that's the big one with the golf one.
Yeah, Mizzen Man. That's what I'm wearing right now.
Half
my closet is all these.
Look at the camera and zoom in on it right there.
Out of office Mizzen Man. Yeah, I actually got I got a sponsored golf trip coming up in 2 weeks, which I mentioned the Bartise before. They're paying for the whole golf trip, gave me extra money just to post about it. It's just like get to live like a very fun life these days. You know, like everything changes.
Is that so? What would you say? I mean, besides that, I guess, what is like the best part of doing the reality TV and what comes after?
Oh God, you know, dang, the best part. Okay, so the money's very nice, of course, but like the experiences are the best part. Like I get invited to all these like extravagant parties, just be in these situations that are like legit just wild and things I just never even could really fully fathom. Like maybe if one person gets to experience this once in their life, but like happens all the time, you know, go to New York, all of a sudden you're partying in a $20 million mansion with all these big time people that are there, and happens everywhere, that kind of stuff. Or, you know, go to all these games, concerts, front row for free, this stuff I just was not getting the opportunity to do. So just the amount of life experiences I've gotten, friends and networking I've been able to do is just It's all of it, really, man. I don't even know if
no,
I can
I
say
agree with
what
that,
it's
man.
the money, the networking, the
yeah.
friends,
Yeah,
everything.
like getting invited to play. Even the last month, we've been hanging out. We've been going like we went to a great event at Komodo. You know, we went to that like VIP pool party the other day too. Like it's just like, especially hanging out together when it's like two of us and like people. I mean, the recognition's cool. Like just walking in somewhere and people like, oh, that's so and so. Get pictures, get pictures. Like last night, I was actually with my girlfriend now at like a Bryson Tiller kind of pop up. He performed at Bloom like 3 or 4 songs, and it's like seeing like his fame up there. And I was probably the only person in the building without their phone out, like recording. Yeah. So it's like, oh, it's like another guy because I'm just like used to like people putting their fucking phone in my face. Like, right. That's not what.
Now, does it have like? Would you say these moments have a expiration limit to them? I guess you could say where it's like, do you feel like after you get off the show, do you have to like? How do you keep it going? Right, because it's like once 2, 3, 4 years pass by, is the momentum kind of gonna die down? And how do you keep the momentum going once you're not on another TV show?
I think the window. I mean, depending on the show, I think the window is gonna be a lot different. Like luckily for me, with Love Is Blind and Perfect Match, those are like brand new shows. So especially Perfect Match being a season 1, like a season 1 show is gonna have kind of a big window. But at the same time, like you need to take advantage of that window while it's lasting. And that's exactly what Ivan has done with his stuff. Like he took advantage of it right off the bat, you know, getting these brand deals and making connections and putting himself in situations to meet people that are important or of influence to essentially keep that, you know, upward sloping trend going.
Yeah,
so,
and I was going to say, Ivan, maybe you can answer this a little bit better, but when you built this Instagram following and this audience, do you feel like they're kind of following you everywhere now? Right? Like, because I'm sure they don't just fall off and unfollow you. So every day that you post something, I'm sure your audience is getting bigger and bigger and they're kind of watching every move. So is it something that you kind of have to focus on to make sure that you're entertaining the following that you currently have?
No, that's a good question. And answer might surprise you in some ways, actually. But yeah, when I first got off the show, and when people like sometimes, you know, call me a celebrity or whatever or famous and stuff, I just kind of almost cringe a little bit because I'm like, I'm not really that famous. I was just, you know, just a regular guy who went on the TV show for a little bit. But I always thought of it as like a 5-year shelf life based off of what I saw from other people and like how much they were monetizing their Instagrams and stuff before me. There's been a ton of seasons of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, so I could kind of gauge it. So that's kind of how I seen it. So I'm like 3 years since I was first on the show. Luckily I'm still, you know, monetizing my Instagram more than darn near ever still right now. So that's very nice. But for the most part, yeah, people follow us, and I don't know how it is exactly on the Netflix shows. But from the Bachelor shows, what I've seen, they'll follow us because they fall in love with us from the show. But then pretty much maybe like a month or two after, your following actually starts to decrease slowly over time. Because like at my peak, I was probably at like 180,000 followers, and now I'm at like 145-ish. So it's just been a slow decline actually, because you know they follow you because of the show or your dating life, and that's the things that they're most interested in, which is the kind of challenging part a little bit, but also the good part. Like my following's 95% women, so they're not going to be interested in, you know, sports or something like I'm interested in. So I have to tailor some of my things to you know, align with what my audience is interested in.
Another thing that I want to commend you on is like all these brand deals are cool and everything, but giving back is even more important. You have your charity organization, right? So talk about that a little bit, because I know you had a big event recently where you gave out some scholarships. So let's talk about that.
Oh, wow.
No, appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I am the president of the National Society of Black Engineer Professionals in Dallas-Fort Worth. So we've got about a few hundred engineers all across the DFW area. It's an organization I was part of back when I was in college. It's always just helped like the underserved minority communities with scholarships and getting jobs and whatnot. So I took over that last year. I'm very excited because we won the award for the top chapter of the year in the entire country this past year for the whole national organization.
Oh, congrats, yeah.
We gave out over 40K in scholarships this past year. Before I took over, they've only given out usually around 3,000 to 8,000 a year. So this year we gave out over 40K. I'm doing it one more year. I said we're going to give out over 100K this year. Because this is about creating the vision, extracting money, all these, and we have so many giant engineering companies here. Just got to extract the money from them and then be able to put that stuff to good use. So it's scholarships. We do professional development. We do things with college students. We also just do things in the community too.
Yeah, and let us know how we can help too, and we'll plug it into the show as well, and with like a link and have people check it out. I
appreciate
too.
that, man.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, and for me, it's like life is a lot about just balance. Like, you know, I take care of myself, I take care of my girl, my family, everybody else, but like. Just got to be able to do a little bit of outreach and give back a little bit, especially to something that I've been a part of since I was in college. So I just had to, throw that in there and get a little more balance in my life. I felt like, and that's been able to provide it for me for sure. And I've seen the impact we're having on people in the community and other young Black engineers that are coming up. So just trying to make a difference with them.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, good work doing that, man.
I appreciate it.
And good work with everything, bro. I met you. I met you like before you were even on Bachelorette and before I went to Love Is Blind. And so just watching you like go through all this stuff, like before me and everything, like you're like truly a role model for me. So I'm happy that you were like my first like co-hosting guest.
Of course,
I think this went great, man. So appreciate you for coming out. Elvis, you have any last questions for him? Or?
No, it was great. Like I said, nice to meet you. You know, you seem like a super cool person. Just before I even got to meet you on checking out your Instagram and the things that, you do and the things you've done in the past. Congrats again on your engagement. Love this episode that we just shot. So yeah, thank you for coming on to the show.
No, I appreciate it, guys. I'm honored to be the first guest. If y'all ever need anything from me too, just down the street.
Well, you know what I need is a little trip to that missing golf thing going on. That's what I need, man. Let's talk to them.
Hey, visit in Maine. Let's do a little Love Is Blind versus Bachelor.
Oh, Love Is Blind versus Bachelor. Okay, yeah, we can do that.
No, but
anyway,
cheers,
cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, thank you guys. Cheers.